Hope there will not be too disappointing an alternative. What does it mean today we are what we eat? Or what does it mean if animals have become squares of meat kept in plastic packages on the shelves of supermarkets? What does it mean if apples are flown from New Zealand at the same time as they're in season in the UK? What does it mean if supermarkets charge us more money for the opportunity to buy fruit that is ripe? It means we have devalued our relationship with what we eat, disconnected ourselves from the way it is made, to the joy that can be had from sharing good food with our peers. Two examples. A 14-year-old boy I met while researching an article in Newham last year did not know what a pear was. Another one. What do you think is the place where Americans eat the majority of their meals? Not at home, nor at work, or even at McDonald's, but in their cars alone. What we see in our relationship with the food we eat, as the title of this evening makes clear, is a reflection of our relationship with the world around us and the way we lead our lives. We see a world of separation. Our politicians have no connection to the people they are supposed to serve. Our businesses are owned by shareholders who never met the people who work at the corporation, nor probably even know its address, let alone where its factories are sited or what conditions its workforce might toil under. And all the while, we are taught to celebrate the aspirations of individuality. Our media promotes to our young that they may dream of becoming celebrities, the loneliest, most disconnected people on the planet. Our economics reinforces this. It preaches a philosophy of infinite growth on a planet of dwindling and finite resources. Faith in God is replaced by seeing success in GDP. But what sort of way to measure success is GDP? After Hurricane Katrina, the cost of the rebuilding efforts meant that America's GDP went up. The more people in hospital, the more drugs we buy, the more pesticides we cover our foods with, the more police we have to employ or wars we fight, the more the GDP goes up. Look at Equatorial Guinea and Greece. They have roughly the same GDP, an average of 20,000 a year. Does this make them equally successful countries? Is there really any parallel that we can draw from that fact? The life expectancy in Greece is in the high 70s. In Equatorial Guinea, it is 43. So why are we not finding the answers? I would suggest it is because we are asking the wrong questions. Here's one to begin with. Is man at war with nature because he is at war with himself? Or is he at war with himself because he is at war with nature? When we ask this question, we soon see that these two parts of it are intertwined and inseparable. To be at war with oneself is to be in conflict with one's own nature. To be at war with nature is to be at war with all that we rely on for our food, our shelter, our energy, and all that makes us who we are. We can only be at war with nature if we see ourselves as something separate from the whole, namely the earth. What both ecology and religion can teach us is about our oneness, our togetherness. This is what we try to do at The Ecologist, to reveal the hidden connections, the interrelationships, the causes and the effects, to tie things together that are seen as separate. And this, after all, is what the word religion means, religio, a binding back together. We see this oneness in the work of James Lovelock. Gaia, his vision of the earth as a single living being, is as close for me as science gets to a religious vision. And from my extremely limited reading, I learned yesterday this has a precursor in the writings of the Sufi Ibn Arabi and his concept of wadat al-wahud, forgive my pronunciation, the unity of all being. This is what we all have to do. We have to start seeing what we share as a point not of conflict, but of unity, whether it be the atmosphere we all pollute and upon which we all rely, or the food you are sharing with me today. We cannot solve our problems without coming together. That is the meaning of the word companion, one who shares my bread. We have to learn from each other. I want to understand more about the meaning of Khalifa, which I learn means steward for the earth, the belief that all Muslims are stewards of the natural world. How do we shift from our current worldview of man as having dominion to man as trustee? And finally, I hope to find out what the practice of Ramadan, of fasting, of going without that to which we are daily accustomed, has to say to the world today. For the first time in history, it was reported last month that the number of overweight and obese people on the planet outnumbers the number of starving. We live in a world of ever-growing and unsustainable excess, but we are always told there is no way we will persuade people to live with less. Yet you do it every year, and you do it with grace and goodwill. So I want to know how it is that we can introduce the concepts of Ramadan into our relationships, not just with our gods, but with each other and the natural world. Thank you.